Did you know that some of the largest states in the US are on the brink of collapse? We're talking about serious problems, not just potholes and slow internet. We're talking about systems breaking down, infrastructure crumbling, and people getting fed up. Today, we're going to dive deep into the underbelly of America. We're going to reveal the 15 states that could collapse first. It's about understanding the challenges we face and getting prepared. Because when systems fail, you need to be ready. Let's start with California, man. The Golden State, land of surfers, celebrities, and rampant homelessness. California's always been known for its high cost of living, but it's getting insane. People are getting priced out of their homes, they're living in tents on the streets, and the state doesn't seem to know how to fix it. And it's not just the cost of living. Earthquakes, wildfires, droughts, it's like nature is constantly throwing punches and the infrastructure just can't keep up. The power grid is vulnerable, the water supply is strained, and don't even get me started on the traffic. It's a recipe for disaster. Next up, we're heading east to the Big Apple, New York City, the city that never sleeps, probably because it's too expensive to afford a bed. Seriously, the cost of living in New York is insane. Rent is through the roof, taxes are sky high, and good luck finding a decent bagel for under $5. The subway system is crumbling, the streets are riddled with potholes, and the power grid struggles to keep up with demand. There's a sense of lawlessness creeping in, and it's hard not to feel uneasy walking the streets at night. From the coasts, we're heading to the heartland, Illinois, the land of Lincoln, deep in debt. Illinois has been struggling financially for years. High taxes, government corruption, and a shrinking population have left the state with a massive budget deficit. Services get cut, infrastructure crumbles, and people start leaving in droves. Illinois is losing residents faster than almost any other state, and that's not a good sign. Chicago, the state's largest city, has become synonymous with gun violence. Let's head south to Texas, the Lone Star State. Texas is booming. People are flocking there for jobs, low taxes, and that wide-open Texan spirit. But Texas's rapid growth is putting a strain on its infrastructure. The power grid is notoriously unreliable, especially during extreme weather events like the winter storm of 2021. Texas has some of the most lenient gun laws in the country, and it's hard to ignore the correlation between easy access to firearms and the state's high rate of gun violence. Next up, we're heading to the Sunshine State, Florida. Beaches, sunshine, Disney World. What's not to love? Well, how about hurricanes, rising sea levels, and a fragile ecosystem? Sea levels are rising, threatening coastal communities and infrastructure. Hurricanes are becoming more frequent and intense, causing billions of dollars in damage. Florida is grappling with income inequality, a lack of affordable housing, and a struggling education system. Let's talk about Pennsylvania, the Keystone State. Pennsylvania is a state of contrasts. You've got bustling cities like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, but you've also got vast rural areas struggling with poverty and opioid addiction. Pennsylvania's economy is heavily reliant on manufacturing, an industry that has been in decline for decades. This has led to job losses, population decline, and a shrinking tax base. The state is facing a massive pension crisis, and its infrastructure is in dire need of an upgrade. Philadelphia, in particular, has seen a surge in gun violence in recent years. Next up, we're heading to Ohio, a state that was once at the heart of the American industrial machine. But those days are gone. Ohio has been hit hard by the decline of manufacturing, and it's struggling to find its footing in the new economy. The opioid epidemic has ravaged communities across the state, and the infrastructure is in desperate need of repair. Young people are leaving Ohio in droves, seeking opportunities elsewhere. Let's talk about Michigan, the state that was once synonymous with the American auto industry. Detroit, the Motor City, was once a symbol of American industrial might. But those days are long gone. The decline of the auto industry hit Michigan hard. Detroit declared bankruptcy in 2013, becoming the largest city in American history to do so. Cities across Michigan are struggling with poverty, crime, and a lack of opportunity. Let's head down south to Georgia, the Peach State. Georgia is a state of contrasts. You've got bustling cities like Atlanta, but you've also got vast rural areas struggling with poverty and lack of opportunity. Georgia's economy is growing, but that growth hasn't reached everyone. Income inequality is a major problem and many people are being left behind. Atlanta, in particular, has seen a surge in violent crime in recent years. Let's talk about North Carolina, a state that was once known for its booming textile industry and its burgeoning research sector. But North Carolina is facing some serious challenges. The state's economy is becoming increasingly reliant on low-wage service sector jobs. The textile industry has largely moved overseas, and while the research sector is still strong, it's not enough to offset the loss of manufacturing jobs. North Carolina is also grappling with political division and voter suppression efforts. Let's head back up north to New Jersey, a state that is often overshadowed by its neighbors, New York and Pennsylvania. New Jersey is a small state with a big population, and that creates some unique challenges. New Jersey has some of the highest property taxes in the nation, and its cost of living is sky high. This is driving many residents out of state, particularly young people and families. The state's infrastructure is aging, and its transportation system is notoriously congested. Let's talk about Virginia, a state steeped in history and tradition. But even Virginia isn't immune to the challenges facing America today. Virginia's economy is doing relatively well, but it is heavily reliant on government spending, particularly in the defense sector. Virginia is also grappling with income inequality, a lack of affordable housing, and a struggling education system. The state's rural areas are being left behind, and its urban areas are becoming increasingly unaffordable. The state's political future is uncertain, and it's unclear what direction it will take. Let's head to the Pacific Northwest and talk about Washington, the Evergreen state. Washington is known for its natural beauty, its booming tech sector, and its progressive politics. But even Washington is facing some serious challenges. The state's tech sector is concentrated in a few urban areas, leaving much of the state behind. Washington is also grappling with a homelessness crisis, a drug epidemic, and a struggling mental health care system. Let's talk about Massachusetts, a state known for its world-class universities, its historic cities, and its progressive politics. Massachusetts has a lot going for it, but it's also facing some serious challenges. Massachusetts has one of the highest costs of living in the nation, driven by its expensive housing market and its high taxes. This is making it increasingly difficult for people to live there, particularly young people and families. Massachusetts is also grappling with income inequality and a struggling transportation system. Finally, let's head to the Southwest and talk about Arizona, the Grand Canyon state. Arizona is known for its stunning desert landscapes, its warm climate, and its growing economy. But Arizona is also facing some serious challenges. The state is grappling with water scarcity, extreme heat, and wildfires, all of which are being exacerbated by climate change. Arizona is also struggling with income inequality, a lack of affordable housing, and a struggling education system. So, there you have it, folks. 15 states on the brink. 15 states grappling with challenges that threaten their very existence. Is it all doom and gloom? Not necessarily. But it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. These problems aren't going away on their own. What do you think? Which state do you think is most at risk? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and share this video with your friends. Stay vigilant, folks.